Well, for more on the outlook for global food supply, I'm joined now from Rome by Abdolreza Abbassian, senior economist at the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Just looking at the wheat prices, we've seen the wheat price rising. The inventories are set to fall. Are you still confident that we are not going to see the kind of inflation of prices and shortages from 2008?
Well, I think, yeah, shortages, definitely not. The situation is very different from 2 years ago. I was listening very attentively to the discussion on the possible food shortages. I think we are very far from that. If anything, let us just consider and reflect back. Russia, such a huge exporter, had put a ban and prices did increase, but they still could not match the prices of 2 years ago. And I think that was where the market limit ended. I think that is the high price you looked at. And in our view, it is very unlikely that prices return even to that level, which is about 2 weeks ago.
Now, we have, of course, seen food riots already in Mozambique. Is that something that you are concerned may spread elsewhere?
We are concerned whenever commodity prices of basic food increase so fast, and it's always a burden on poorer countries. The developments in Mozambique was not entirely due to higher grain prices in world markets. It had a lot to do with macroeconomics, with a country that had to subsidize fuel and has run out of money, and it had a lot to do with depreciation of its currency. And in fact, this is one reason why you don't see something similar yet happening in other countries. Having said that, we don't want to undermine the importance of the wheat price rise in such a brief period of time, and this is a concern in itself, but it is not something we consider at this stage to be of global crisis status that in some corners we are increasingly hearing.
Now, we mentioned the ban in Russia. Is that something that you consider may go on for some time?
Well, the ban had, of course, a major implication in escalating prices, and then, it is definitely in place until December. That we know for sure. What happens after that, it's open to discussion. But I think already the fact that we had inventories elsewhere and the major exporters such as US or EU could easily cover that shortfall is bringing some, let's say, comfort to the market. And we hope that with these high prices, winter planting will increase, and from Christmas onwards, we're going to talk about a very good crop next year. So altogether, I think the worst is over.
Of course, there is the concern that if Russia prolongs the ban and if any other countries choose to follow suit, then that would create more pressure, wouldn't it?
Yeah, there are two big ifs there, though. The first one assumes that Russia will expand. I know that the Prime Minister had this idea mentioned, but it still is not a decree. And the second one is if other countries, and I don't see any reason why should other countries follow that. Those who export would like these high prices. And let us not forget, when you have high prices, farmers plant more. So all around the world, including in Russia. So I tend to be a bit more optimistic on that side for next season.
Now, also looking at rice production, we've seen a big problem in Pakistan because of the flooding there. Are you concerned overall that there may be some pressure on rice as well?
There is some possibility, but it is too early. The next few months will be critical. It is possible that Pakistan rice production this year falls short of the expectation to a tune of 2-3 million tons, but it is still not certain. And even if it does, it's not going to have major implications globally. It will be certainly a problem in Pakistan, but as you know, Pakistan is basically full self-sufficient. It exports rice, and it was actually planning also to export wheat. So we take Pakistan as market neutral.
Now, if we look overall, this is going to have a knock-on effect, presumably, to livestock prices and food prices generally around the world, isn't it?
Yes, it has. And in fact, we already see that in the meat and dairy prices. And, I mean, price of feed grain goes up, be it wheat or corn, you're going to get that. And there is, I don't want to be mistaken here, there is a problem with prices. First of all, they're very high. Second, they rose very fast. These are genuine concerns that we have to deal with. But the point we're trying to make is that let's not compare this to a food crisis situation. We are not there.
OK. Abdolreza Abbassian, thank you very much indeed.